I the asshole for telling my husband to stop seeing his therapist because she's super unethically religious and told him he's way out of my league?
What?
So my husband, 34 male, has been seeing this therapist for about 6 months now. I, 31 female, was supportive. Therapy's important, and he's never done it before. But then he came home and said how his therapist, let's call her Dr. Prophet, said he should embrace his divine masculinity and seek a woman who matches his energy. I was like, you have me. And he laughed it off. Quote, oh, she's just super spiritual. It's her thing. But I always thought it was unethical, as a Christian, for her to add her beliefs into unbiased therapy. People have different approaches, and he seemed to like her. A lot. But I wasn't really worried. It wasn't like, oh no, he's in love with his therapist thing. Though, I think he should have got a male therapist. But then, it started to get weird. He started bringing home the printed Bible verses she gave him, with handwritten notes about finding his true partner in the eyes of God. Mind you, we're already married, happily. It's not like he's going to therapy for me, or so I thought. And no, it wasn't that she didn't know I existed. He has me as his lock screen. He claims to have talk about me a lot, which now I'm questioning what in the world they've been saying. And I'm always there to pick him up. We share cars. One day he told me that she said that I seemed insecure and threatened by his light. What does that even mean? We've been together for 8 years, married for 5, and I've supported this man through 2 job losses. We both support each other and there's no jealousy between us. I legit make more, and it has been like that for 3 years now. 3 weeks of not hearing from his therapist. He told me that she told him he was way out of my league and that he needed to enter into the role God has prepared for him in 2025 and stop letting others extinguish his flames. When I asked if others meant me, he shrugged. I told him I didn't want him to see her anymore. Not just because of the weird religious manipulation, but because I think she's actively trying to harm our marriage. He said I was trying to control his healing and that she is the only one who understands him. And I made clear that I truly believe men deserve mental health help as much as anyone does. He even mentioned if we wanted kids together, which we do, I should let him heal, and I shouldn't be the same way when me and him have the kids we want are together. If we even do, quote. So now, I feel like I'm a crazy control freak. Am I overreacting? I want him to have a therapist, but not one who acts like a TikTok prophet. Yes, I went there. He says I'm being unsupportive of his growth. But to me, it feels like his therapist is trying to become his wife in spirit. And sorry, I forgot to add this, and I don't really know where to do this or add this in, but his therapist is a 45-year-old woman. I do not know her marital status, / is kind of irrelevant. She's very beautiful, no doubt. She has an alluring accent and whatnot, and I'm guessing he sees her as older and wiser. Am I the asshole? They're 27.
God damn, he needs mental health he needs mental health help from his mental health help.
He needs therapy from his therapist.
Oh my. Okay, it's a little insane. But do you think the therapist is just going 0 to 100 real quick? Or do you think she's feeding off of the shit he's telling her?
You know, I'm going to say I had that thought too, because I feel like my therapist does that.
Like, okay, you could. This could be the rare instant where we got another Ruby Frankie therapist case.
That's what I was picturing. Yeah,
I'm thinking they're Mormon.
What's the name of the Ruby Frankie?
Devil in the Family.
No. But the girl, her name.
Therapist name?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
But
I just from that documentary that we watched, that's what I'm envisioning when I go through this. Take that very rare incident where your therapist is a psychopath out of the equation. And is it not more likely that your therapist is kind of just like reinforcing what you feel and telling you like, hey, if that's how you feel, it's okay to feel that way. And like you should follow that, makes you how it feels. So like maybe the therapist is just, it's really deep down the husband's fault. I feel like, I don't know, like, shouldn't that be more likely than, yo, this therapist is crazy and she's ruining your whole marriage? Oh, versus he's ruining your marriage and he's just, the therapist is like not really like enabling him, but like encouraging. Like, doesn't a therapist try to encourage you to be your true self? So if you come in and be like, oh, I feel like I'm trapped in this marriage. I feel like I don't know if my wife is the one that I really want to be with. Wouldn't your therapist be like,
supporting you? Because that's what they're literally being paid for.
Right?
That is a good point. I actually had this thought the other day when I was in therapy. I was like, my therapist has never disagreed with me.
As a therapist, I feel like that you walk a fine line.
Yeah.
You don't want to piss off your client.
Yeah.
Because then they won't come back. They're your livelihood. You want to help them the way that you can. But at the same time, you don't want to like abruptly.
Bluntly?
No, I meant brunt. You don't want to like
brunt.
Like brute force go against them. Like you don't want to be like opposing your client. So I
don't know what brunt means. It's fine.
Brunt is like a hard force.
You're right.
Word for word.
The word brunt refers to the main force, shock, or impact of something, especially something negative or harmful.
Yeah, so you don't want to be, as a therapist, have like a brunt force, like different opinion where it just comes off so harsh to your client.
Yeah.
You kind of want to be like with them so they come back. So like, I don't know.
It is tough. That is a good point. I didn't see it from that perspective when I first read this.
I do really quickly, like at first I want to be like blaming the therapist. But then I'm like, they're a profession. They go to school. So I feel like it'd be a pretty rare chance where you're getting a saboteur therapist.
Yeah.
Or it's probably more likely that she's going off of what he's initially telling her.
I like that perspective.
Like he's passing the buck off to the therapist, that it's all the therapist's fault. But the buck stops with him.
Top comment. Girl, it sounds like he's already lost in this rabbit hole. I would look up an actual therapist who can help you navigate the undue influence he's experienced. Whoever this woman is, I doubt she's a real therapist, but if she can be reported to anyone who can hold her accountable, she needs to be. OP replies, I looked her up late last year. She's legit and has great reviews. I just don't know how whatever license she has hasn't been revoked. Maybe it's because most of her clients are also Christian. It doesn't excuse the plain professional negligence. That's another thing though. Like, why is she sending him home with like Bible verses?
I do think that's weird. Is that appropriate if you
I
are
don't think so.
I feel like therapists are supposed to be like neutral.
Right?
I'm more on the
like
side
she said,
of crazy,
unbiased.
I'm coming back to crazy therapist thoughts.
Yeah. I don't know about this one.
There's a comment that says, he's against couples counseling, and now that I look back, I've only seen the word licensed, but the credentials and education are nowhere to be seen. I wonder if you can get self-licensed, or maybe you can just say licensed on your website.
Possibly. I have
like,
no
what
idea.
are the credentials? You could definitely try and go down the rabbit hole of authenticating her.
Yeah.
And maybe if you can find some stuff, you can
I wonder if you could
fight
just
against it.
ask ChatGPT, is this person a licensed therapist?
Maybe. Oh man. OP comments a lot on the thread.
So there is an update in the comments. When I looked her up, she's credentialed and well reviewed, but she works for an overly Christian employer and office, which isn't bad, but they don't clarify that this is solely Christian therapy and shove Christian beliefs in your face. Imagine the poor people with religious trauma. Also, I am Christian, and the vibe there is out of date and even offensive. I've called once with a basic question about therapist credentials and gotten weird, unfriendly front desk service. My husband won't discuss her further, won't let me attend a session with him, and just keeps telling me to drop it. I was blaming the therapist for being unprofessional initially, but reading some comments and thinking some more, I'm realizing my husband is probably adding to all of this. For example, he's never talked directly to me about how he feels about my career, even though I earn more and pay our bills, but I've overheard him talking to his mom about it. Some comments pointed out he could be feeling inferior and talking himself up to his therapist to feel better. His mom believes I need to be in a more feminine position so he can be the breadwinner. I believe he is feeling emasculated, but won't admit it to me. He tells it to his mom instead, and I suspect to the therapist. He also refuses couples therapy. He says it would make him feel guilty for dragging me into it, and is afraid of his mom's reaction. She doesn't believe men should be sensitive or go to therapy. It feels like his loyalty to her and this therapist is stronger than to our marriage. He also seems to be gatekeeping therapy. I've considered reporting the therapist for ethical violations, but I know my husband would likely backtrack if it ever came down to it. He would say it doesn't matter what she said or that it's no big deal. I'm feeling gaslit and locked out of a conversation that is deciding the fate of our relationship, but it all feels like I'm overreacting.
Holy fuck. See, that's okay.
Damn.
So this is what I was kind of saying. Like, how much do you think he's leading into it? Is there such thing as a Christian therapist? I mean, it could kind of make sense, but would they actually be licensed to be like an actual therapist?
Well, she's not. They're not.
That's what I mean, right? She's a Christian therapist, like fingers up quotations, Christian therapist, but she's not like a real therapist. And her whole therapy job is to like shove the Christian beliefs down your throat. I mean, I'm Christian too, but whatever.
You're Catholic.
Oh, to me, it's the same thing.
I actually don't really know.
I don't know the difference. But the part where she says that the mom believes I should be in a more feminine, what the? I don't want to try not. What is with men that have such an issue when their partner makes more than them? Like that emasculates them. Buddy, you emasculated yourself then for letting that happen.
Yeah.
What do you want your wife to do? Okay. You know what? You're right. I need to be more feminine. Okay, tomorrow? Oh man, crazy coincidence. My work, they just said they're going to give me a pay cut. I'm about to make 50% less starting Monday. I can either keep my job or I can take a severance package. I'm just going to keep my job, but you need to step up. You need to make more money. And then take half your paycheck and just put it into an RS or a 401k if you're American, RRSP if you're Canadian. Just put it into a savings account. Don't let them see your money and be like, we're struggling. Are you going to pay the bills? Mm-hmm. The hydra's going to get cut off. Be me more manly. I don't understand why men get so offended when they make more money.
I completely agree.
I still want to hold up my hand. If Teresa made more money than me, which a couple years she has, I'd be like, put that in your savings. Put that in your savings. Like, I don't know, we'll still split the thing 50-50. You get more play money than I do. You can buy more Taylor Swift merch. Why am I taking offense to that?
Yeah, it's...
all that whole little update, edit, reply in the comments just makes me like, how are you still attracted to him? So you know what it is? He's a mama's boy. Hold on, he's a mama's boy. You think he's getting you think he feels bad over you making more money than him and you're paying bill. It's not even just that she makes more money than him and she has more spending money and she wants to take them on vacations and do that stuff. She's paying the bills for the house. So he's not even like holding down the fort at home to feel manly. Like, it's one thing if like, okay, you make so much more and you're like, hey, I booked us a vacation here. Or like, hey, I upgraded here. It's like, oh, okay, I could kind of see that. I think it'd be totally invalid. But when you're using your wife's money to pay the household bills, that's fucked up.
I agree. I think it's like a fear of other men looking down on you. It's a fear of being judged by other men.
Go make more money then.
I know. Like,
if you're so afraid of that judgment, then go step up.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you want me to take a more feminine role?
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
Buddy, I would if we could afford it. Clearly, I'm paying the bills of my income.
No, but I don't even think that should be the case. Like, if you...
Oh, you shouldn't have to.
No.
But I just mean that as a jab back.
Yeah. Like, some people like their job.
Yeah, but like, realistically, if he made enough, no matter what she made, she wouldn't have to pay the bills if he wanted to be manly. He'd be like, no, I got the mortgage, I got the car bill, I got the hydro, I got all the bills, whatever you make, love of my life, wife, everything you do is, you're my queen. All your money can just go into savings. You can do whatever you want with your money. I've got everything else if you want to be manly. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
Agreed.
I don't think she's overreacting. I think she's underreacting.
Right?
Underreacting.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Back to me?
Back to you.
Okay. Oh no, Luna's woken up.
Hi, Luna.
Oh no, she woke up.
Hi. She's giving me a
She's gonna leave now.
Stinky.
Stop calling her cat Stinky.
I'm sorry. I know they can understand.